Today, we're going to do something, again, a little bit different. We have focused on journaling so far. We have talked about time management. We've talked about money management. Today is going to be focusing on mental well-being, kind of stress management, if you will. How many of you ever, and just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up, how many of you ever feel anxious or depressed or overstressed, anything like that? Just about everyone, just about everyone. Okay. So you know you're not alone. With that in mind, we're going to look at some of the reasons. Vana, if you're just joining us, you haven't missed anything yet. We're just talking about what we're going to talk about today, which is stress management or mental well-being. This is such an important topic. We're actually covering this twice. We're covering this once at the beginning of the summer, and then the very last week of the summer, Carissa is going to do a mental health lesson for us as well. Mental health is extremely important for you to be mindful of and be aware of because it affects your brain. Your mental health affects every other part of your life, every part of your body. Physically, you can become sick and worn down if you're too overstressed. So it's very crucial that you take good care of yourself. If you haven't, yes, please put your names in the chat. Thank you, Emily. If you're just joining a little late, go ahead and put your name in there. To focus on mental health today, we're going to do two things. The first is we're going to learn some kind of relaxing strategies, some things that we can do to calm ourselves down or kind of reset and get back in a good frame of mind if we're ever feeling stressed or anxious or anything. And then we're going to actually practice those techniques by watching a video, and we're going to try to implement those techniques while we watch the video to help us focus as best as we possibly can, because sometimes when we watch videos, we get in this kind of autopilot mode where we're just like kind of passively paying attention. We're not really focusing on what's being said or taking it in and listening to it. So with these techniques, we're going to see if that helps us be able to focus and pay attention better, and so that we can get more out of the video. And then we're going to have a little discussion time where you guys can ask questions. We can talk about some of these things that maybe we all are dealing with, especially right now during this time. It seems like the world has shut down to a certain extent to where we don't have a lot of the same obligations that we have. Some of our time commitments we don't have because we can't. Things like, sports practice, work hours are sometimes limited. So things like that don't happen, which stresses us out. But even with the absence of these things that usually do cause a little bit of stress, we're somehow more stressed during this time when we have less going on. And I don't know exactly why that is, except for maybe there's a few things we're going to learn in our video today that might shed some light on some of those things. Why are we more stressed now when we have less going on? Let's get started with some of our techniques. We're going to learn 3 techniques. The first one is simply focusing on our breath. So I want everyone to place one hand on your stomach, and I want you to breathe slowly and deeply in through your nose, and I want that hand to rise that's on your stomach. So we shouldn't be breathing to where our Shoulders rise. We should only be breathing where our diaphragm, that's the muscle in our stomach, is extending out. So everyone, we're going to breathe together a few times. So when I say breathe in, take a deep breath in. So everyone breathe in through your nose and let it completely out slowly. All right, we're going to breathe in once more through our nose and breathe out completely. Breathe in through your nose and out slowly. Now, you may notice if you're doing this a lot, you may notice you might get a little lightheaded. This is stimulating something in our nervous system called the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve runs from our head down through our neck, through our chest, and to the colon. And that actually activates our relaxation response, which reduces your heart rate and blood pressure. And the result is a lowered stress level. So that's scientifically proven that just deep breathing through your diaphragm will calm you down. So that's one way that you can stay focused and relaxed, is through deep breathing. The second way is through progressive muscle relaxation. Has anyone ever heard of that before? Progressive muscle relaxation? I can't see everyone's hands all at once because your videos aren't really showing up. So if you know what that is, go ahead and unmute yourself and see if you can explain that to everyone. Progressive muscle relaxation. Okay. To give you it simply, it's focusing on a set of muscles. Starting, you can start with your feet. That's where I like to start. And you're kind of like tensing your feet muscles and then slowly relaxing them. And then you work your way up to your calf muscles. You're going to kind of tense your calf muscles and relax them. And then you work up to your thighs and tense them and relax them. And you work all the way up, all the way out to your fingertips. And you slowly just take one step at a time, tensing and relaxing. And if you're careful doing this, you can actually feel your whole body just kind of shift into a whole new state, because we actually tense muscles when we don't realize it. Some people say you carry your stress in your shoulders, or you carry your stress, like I carry my stress in my jaw. Maybe sometimes, if you've ever noticed, look carefully, and I want you to do this from now on in these classes. Watch me. You can tell when I'm like really thinking hard about something or I'm stressed about something if you see my jaw do this. It was very subtle. I don't know if you saw that. I'll do it again. My jaw moves slightly to my left, and it's nothing that I consciously do, but it's something that just happens because I get so distracted by my thoughts that my muscle just kind of tense up. And some people do that with their shoulders. Some people do that with their lower back. It doesn't matter where it happens, but the key is that it's unconscious. We don't know that we're doing it. So by doing this progressive muscle relaxation all the way up through our body, we're allowing those muscles to return to their natural state. So that's the second exercise. So think about doing these things as we're watching our video. So if you see that your mind, your thoughts are kind of wandering, focus on your breathing, your deep breathing. Focus on relaxing different parts of your body. And if you feel tension somewhere, try to tense it first and then relax. The last thing that you can do is called mindfulness, which is kind of a difficult, or meditation. It's a difficult thing to practice all the time, but it can be as simple as journaling. When we do our journaling, everything that we've done so far is kind of geared towards lowering your stress. So journaling is a great way to lower your stress. Using your time wisely and effectively managing your time will lower your stress. Money management. If you're worried about money, keeping track of that will lower your stress. So everything we've done so far can be a mindfulness technique. But sometimes it's just as simple as finding a quiet place, taking a few minutes to just relax, close your eyes if you want to, and think about nothing, which is really, really hard to do. If you are focusing on your breathing, that'll help. If you're doing the progressive muscle relaxation, that will help. But if you find your mind kind of wandering and you think of other thoughts, that's okay. Let the thought pass and then slowly draw your attention back to what you're focusing on. So it's okay to think about what's going on tomorrow. It's okay to think, oh man, I said this really stupid thing earlier. It's okay to think about those things, but you got to kind of let them go and then come back to what you're focusing on, which could be journaling, which could be tracking your time. Anything can be turned into meditation. So those 3 techniques will help all of you cope with stress, no matter what you're doing. Whether you're at work, you can sit there and breathe deeply. Michael, that's a great visualization. And that's another actual technique, just visualizing things. So you can picture yourself on a beach during sunset. You can picture yourself wherever you want. I like to think of myself when I'm breathing deeply as like a bear that's hibernating in a cave. When they're fast asleep, they're cozy, they're just totally safe and relaxed, and they're breathing deeply. So that's one way that you could visualize breathing deeply. So thinking about nothing is easier, you're right, when there's nothing to think about. So if you picture yourself in a white room with nothing else around you, that's a great way to think about nothing. So these are great suggestions. We're going to go ahead and watch a video. This is a TED Talk. You know how much I love TED Talks. And maybe not everyone loves TED Talks as much as I do, but I guarantee that there's something in this TED Talk that could be beneficial to each one of you. So I want you to pay attention. If you find yourself, man, this is really hard to focus on, go back to your breathing. Go back to your progressive muscle relaxation. Let those thoughts pass. Don't get mad at yourself. Don't get frustrated. Just let the thoughts pass and come back to what you're focusing on, which is the video. All you have to do is sit in a relaxed way and pay attention, listen to the words that this guy is saying. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay, so let's kind of talk about this a little bit and break it down. Can everyone hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. If I know my audio's been kind of lately, but it's better today. Okay, thank you. So I took a few things from this, but I'd like to hear what you guys took from this, because it helps the discussion go a little bit better if I know where you are at as far as what you're understanding, what you're not understanding, things like that. So does anyone like to share something that they learned or something that they found was really profound, or maybe something that you've always known, but this guy just said it just the right way? Anything like that. And don't be shy. This is just a totally free zone. No judgment on anyone. Maybe I can start by asking some questions. So what were some of the factors that he listed? He listed some factors for depression and anxiety. Did anyone catch any of those factors of that? He said that 2 of them were something. I'll see if anybody can tell me what that was. And then there were like 9 that were something else.
Wait, can I biological?
What was that? I heard somebody say it.
2 are biological, and I can't remember the other ones.
Okay, 2 were biological reasons. So very few people, he mentioned, have anxiety or depression solely due to biological reasons. So that's either your genes, things like that, or I can't remember what the other one was now that he mentioned. It was
Chemical
genes.
imbalance.
Chemical imbalance. Thank you. Thank you. So sometimes your brain actually changes its brain chemistry. And that happens, I mean, naturally, you know, during adolescence, as you're growing up, your brain kind of changes its chemistry a little bit. Well, some people's brains changes its chemistry permanently, and can result in more predisposition to anxiety or depression. So very good. Did anybody remember what the other 9 were that were not biological? These are the majority of what people experience probably who have anxiety or depression. It's these things that are just part of our lifestyle.
Trauma.
Trauma could be one. Yes, absolutely. If you experience a traumatic experience, that is very likely to affect your ability to cope with stress.
Loneliness.
Loneliness was one. Yes, very good. Thank you. And he said that we're one of the most lonely societies, or just in general, human civilization. We're more lonely now than we've ever been, which you would think with all the connectedness we have with the internet, our phones, we should be more connected, but for some reason we're not. Very good. Anything else that you remember? Yes, Adrienne.
One that I found was interesting was little to no control at your job or at school.
Yeah, that's a big one. How many people do you think go to work every day? You see this maybe with your parents even. How many people go to work every day and they have little to no control over what they do? They just have to punch in, you know, on the time clock, do their work, and then go home.
Or do any of you have a job like that?
Yeah, some of you probably do. Raise your hand if you have a job like that. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So that can contribute as well, because you're not able to express, you know, creativity. You're not able to do some of those things that allow you to, you know, function higher, or create a sense of like togetherness, belonging to something bigger than yourself, is what he said. Very good. Alyssa, did you raise your hand for to add something?
Like not having meaningful values.
Okay. Yes, excellent. He said we kind of live off of junk food, and I see that a lot with you know, it seems like TV unfortunately is a lot of junk food, and there's no, that's why I spend so much time watching, like, you know, TED Talks on YouTube. I need something that's like got, you know, some meat and vegetables to it. Yes, any of our values that are just junk food, we're surrounded by that everywhere we go, at school, at work, everywhere. Was there anyone else?
He mentioned one more when he talked about the garden.
And many of you probably have an example of this in your home. I know because we've seen it. He said
Not
if
having
you,
like respect for life.
well, that's another one. This one that we're thinking of particularly has to do with some of your little furry creatures. this was a huge antidepressant, he said. Remember when that person got a cow? And they said that this is an antidepressant, right? Living in the natural world is what he called it. Spending time outdoors or spending time with animals. That's a natural world thing. And many of you have pets. They're a great antidepressant sometimes. That's another factor, is not having any contact with the natural world. Very good. Those are the only ones that I can really remember right off the top of my head. But if any of you can think of any other factors, feel free to chime in. I think next, I'd like to hear some of your guys' solutions to some of the problems that he suggested. So he mentioned a group kind of that was like a Alcoholics Anonymous or whatever for people that get anxious. What would you think would be a great solution, or it could be any idea that might help with anxiety or depression?
I feel like Upward Bound helped me a lot last year whenever we could all get together. Like I stopped biting my nails last year because of Upward Bound, because it was such
Nice.
a big stress reliever.
That's awesome. And you know what? I agree with that 100%. Being part of a group, that's what he talked about when he said humans were a tribal species. You need to feel like you're part of something. Upward Bound is a great example of that, you're part of something that's bigger than yourself. And a great way to spend time together, and there's no work involved, there's no homework assignment, no nothing. You just come and show up and have fun. Tonight we're doing the evening activity that's a Harry Potter escape room online. That's a great way to spend time together. Or the lunch hour. We have Brittany and Rain have been there consistently. Come and join us for lunch sometime. Just sit and chat and have fun. Those are two great ways and we're going to try to have an evening activity every week. It may not always be on a Thursday, but we'll try to let you know, and we'll post that in the Student Central when we're going to have the evening activity each week. But tonight at 7 o'clock, all you have to do is come on to Student Central. We'll post the link, the Zoom link in there, and then join us for a fun activity. And it's going to be led by us and the VAs. So feel free to join us tonight at 7. That's a great idea. Does anyone
to get to know the rest of your team and your team leader, the VA, especially if you haven't had much opportunity to talk to them yet?
That's right.
Plus Harry Potter.
Plus Harry Potter, yeah. And you
No,
don't have
get
to.
that out of here.
You don't have to like or know anything about Harry Potter to be
Yes,
successful at this.
Yeah.
You have to like Harry Potter, but to be successful,
No.
all you need is attention. If you can pay attention and help your team, that's all it takes. So another thing that I thought was kind of interesting that he talked about was that we have all these resources for people to meet their physical needs. We have, restaurants, we have hospitals, we have, clothing stores, we have all these different things that meet our physical needs. We don't have very many places that we can go to meet our psychological needs. What would be some more ways that we could help meet our psychological needs, like being part of a group or feeling that we're contributing to something? What would be some other solutions for some of these things? Does anyone else have any ideas?
Joining clubs at school.
Okay, great. Absolutely. I know, speaking from experience, I was in several clubs in high school, and I gained more out of my time there probably than sitting at home, playing video games by myself. So absolutely join a club, be part of something. Anyone else?
Sports.
Hannah put in
Sports?
oh, sorry.
Yes, sports. Who said that? Sorry, I just didn't see who said sports. Oh, Leanne, excellent. Leanne, what sports do you play? Do you play some sports at school, Leanne? What sports do you play?
Basically all the sports I can.
All the sports you can. Okay, so give me one example of something beneficial besides the health benefits that you get from being physically active with a team. What is one other benefit?
It helps me like make new friends and be more sociable.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So you meet new people that you might not otherwise have if you weren't in that sport. Excellent. Okay, so we've got join clubs or do other activities at school. We've got join a sports team, Upward Bound. Are there any other things that you guys can think of that you can do? And they don't have to be necessarily joining a group. It can be anything like our mindfulness exercises, like, deep breathing or meditation, anything that would help relieve or prevent rather depression or anxiety. Because another talk that I saw was about how we spend so much time and effort treating these things. Like we wait until it's too late and then, oh, now I need to go see a doctor because I'm really depressed, or anything like that. We spend time when it's too late treating it. So what can we do to help prevent some of these things?
I like to clean when I'm upset.
Cleaning. Wow. That's productive and mentally healthy. That's amazing. So nicely done.
Yeah, I've heard that people sometimes consider clutter to be like visual noise, like that takes up space in your mind and kind of crowds, so it makes you feel more anxious. And so cleaning can help relieve that.
Yeah. And if you ever find yourself wanting to clean but don't know where to begin because there's such a mess, this is something my mom always told me. Start in one corner and work your way around. Have you guys heard that before? Has anyone told you that? Okay, that's honestly, you can take that for anything in your life. If you don't have an idea of where to begin, start somewhere small and work your way around. That's great great advice, Brielle. Thank you. Does anyone else have any other suggestions for things that you can do? These are some great examples, by the way. I'm really impressed with you guys so far.
Read.
Yes. Yes, that's another thing that we're trying to do to help you, because we're trying, when we do these things, we're not only trying to add academic value to your life. There's so many things that you can benefit from by journaling, by keeping track of your time, by reading. That kind of stretches to every area of your life, and we're going to talk more about that tomorrow during a life skills class. But reading is a great way to spend your time. And you may say, I don't really like to read. Well, find YouTube videos that are informational, like TED Talks. Maybe TED Talks aren't your thing. There are documentaries. There are all kinds of informational YouTube videos. There are podcasts. There are audiobooks. There's so many ways to get that information now that just wasn't available before. So take advantage of the technology that we have to get that information.
Build something.
I love it, Michael. That's great. Use your hands and build
Find
something.
a hobby.
Find a hobby. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So if you are busy being productive, you have less time to worry about being anxious. And it's going to kind of clear your mind. Doing stuff like that is very fulfilling. It's one of those psychological needs he was talking about that needs to be met. We have a desire, whether you realize it or not, we have a desire to work. And I use that term very loosely. I don't want to compare anyone to a dog, but our brains kind of are wired in a way, if we don't have a job, if we don't know what we're supposed to be doing, we are a disaster. And dogs are very much the same way. If they don't have a job that they know that they're supposed to be doing, they're chaotic. So
You don't want to think about yourself compared to a dog. Think about you when you were a child. When you are infants and toddlers, I'm sure Rain knows this because she lives with a little one. And I don't know how many of you do, but they thrive on structure. Even if they can't contribute, even if you feel like you're not contributing to your schedule, just understanding what comes next provides so much confidence and helps ease that depression. You know, being unsure provides a lot of worry to people. So if you at least know what's coming up next, even if you don't like it, that can help relieve some of that anxiety.
Right.
I have also heard it called just like not a job, but just general usefulness. If you feel useful, that is useful to you as well.
Yeah.
And if you're working to improve yourself for the future, you are being useful to yourself, if to no one else. So that's very good, Michael.
Music.
Excellent,
good.
excellent. Who said that? I couldn't see.
Leanne.
Leanne again. All right, nicely done. Yeah, music is a very good one, because I feel like it just speaks universally to so many people, but at the same time, it's also very individualistic with the experience, because one song may mean something to one person that it doesn't to another person. So it's a very personal experience, but it's also a very universal experience. So that's excellent.
Exercising.
Wonderful, wonderful. There are so many things, and I'm sure Carissa will go into that. There are so many benefits of working yourself physically somehow, not just mentally, but yes, that's a great one. Anyone else? Oh, we've got some people saying they have to go. That's fine. We are running right up to 3 o'clock. So if anyone has any questions, this is like kind of a blanket statement. And I know you probably hear stuff like this all the time. So it may not seem very sincere, or you may not take it to mean very much, but we honestly want to be here for you in any way that we can. So if there's ever a time when you feel like, I just need someone to talk to, you may not always need help with your math homework. You may not always need help filling out scholarship applications, but if you need anything, please use us as a resource. Contact us and let us know what we can do to help. I think that goes for all three of us, Carissa as well. Our teachers, our virtual assistants, we're all here for you. That's exactly what we come to work for every day, is to help you guys. So thank you all very much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Hopefully we'll see you tonight at 7 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
Look for the link in the Student Central.